Hey.
Welcome. Is it, oh, it's live.
Yes, it's live.
Sweet, brother. Hey, I want to welcome you onto the Freedom Evolution project, and I want to welcome all the other people who are on here. Not other people, but the people who are watching right now. Thank you for joining us. So, quick introductions. I'm Tyson, and you're Win.
Yes, I am.
And this is the first inaugural video and of a lot of videos coming up where we go into some of the ways that we make money and how we go online and help just help build an income online and help our uh, our bottom line in terms of making a living and hopefully that we can help some other people who are coming on here to pick up some ideas and how to help them as well. So why don't we just get started into it and kind of get right into it. I like to start with action right away. And why don't we get into some of our background story? So as I said, I'm Tyson, and my story quickly was I was a dead broke, basically community service worker back in March. And for about 10 years, I was doing the right thing. I thought was the right thing. I was helping out young people coming in from all sorts of different situations. And I worked in the poorest area codes of Canada, where I'm at right now. Wynn and I are both broadcasting from Canada. And yes, it's cold up here, but we're on the West Coast, where it isn't so bad. And yeah, so I was working the poorest area codes, and then I got transferred to the richest area codes
Hey,
of Canada.
Tyson.
Yep.
I think we just lost you for about 10 seconds there. So do you
Oh,
want to start off
okay.
right after you were a dead broke community worker?
Yeah, so yeah, just I'll keep this real short because I mean this isn't about me so much, and they're just kind of getting everything started. But yeah, I was a dead broke community service worker. Thought I was doing the right thing, helping all sorts of people, especially young people. And I bought into the whole job security, um, well, what I call lie now. And back in March, I got laid off after working for so long in doing this kind of work. And I said no, no more. After 10 years, that was enough. I fed into the whole. I had a union and health benefits and pension, and I bought into the security of working a job. And I said, hell no, that's it. I'm not going back anymore. And I started looking online, and and that's where it all started in terms of this blog here, and it started in terms of starting to find our way in making a living online. So that's a bit about me. When well maybe we can talk about how we met eventually, but why don't you share a little bit about your story and your background?
Yeah, and there's a lot more to Tyson's story that you haven't shared. So, and I think that's also where a lot of the inspirations are going to come from as well. And we're definitely going to go more into details on some of those things. I think the story of losing your job is a very powerful message. However, I think it's what happens after that and what you've been able to do with your life and your career right after that is another a much more powerful story. As far as me, so I came here to Canada 10 years ago as an international student. Didn't speak a word of English, and I remember going to business school, and I showed up to every single meeting for this business club for the students at the school for straight 8 months. And I wouldn't put up my hand, I wouldn't speak to anybody, I just kind of showed up. So I was a very shy international student because I knew I couldn't speak the language. So I showed up for the entire 8 months, not speaking a word and not volunteering for anything. And from then, I've been always motivated to be more and to achieve more in my life. And from that, basically, my story is that as an international student, especially from Asia, I am told my whole life to fit in and to find a safe and secure job and try to stay as small as possible. And I never wanted to do that. So even though I was going through school and complying to my my destiny, so to speak, as what I'm supposed to do, I was always learning and building up my skills and studying more on how I could actually take care and take control of my life on my terms. And that brought me to Tyson last year, brought me to you through another friend of us sharing the same goal with us. So here we are today. I'm also on my journey to achieve and build the ultimate freedom into my life, which is the freedom to be and do and achieve anything I want in my journey. So, Tyson, it's been a 10 minutes talk here. Let's tell people what this is about and what are we trying to accomplish here.
Awesome. So part of the Freedom Evolution Project is accountability. Why do we come up here? Why do we do the video logs? Why are we broadcasting all our goals and everything that you'll see later on? And why do we do this? Number one, it's accountability, because we know that when you have thousands of people looking at you, potentially millions of people looking at you, somebody's going to call you out along the line and go, hey, that's not, what are you doing? You said you're going to do this. And so that's why we're doing that. Another reason is because I talk too fast. Sometimes I'm all over the place, and getting this stuff out on camera, getting this out really helps develop that speech so that we can, develop ourselves as speakers if we're talking about personal development here. The other reason is, this is really the most important reason, is because when we start doing things and we start implementing the stuff that we've learned from all the other people that we've been following and coaching with, we can end up showing people who come on to subscribe onto this channel what's happening and help them avoid the mistakes and the time wasters and all the ups and downs that you've been through and I've been through over this last little while trying to find freedom online. And if I'm missing anything here, jump in. But I think it's important to mention that there's something in it for the viewer, you, who's watching this right now, and that's really all the lessons that we've gone through. So it helps you shortcut into deciding what is right for you, because we've done a lot of different things to be able to come to the decision what we're doing right now, which is digital publishing, and for us, it helps us with like I said, the accountability. And helping us move forward in our own personal development and producing better videos, producing better content, producing just better things for more people so we can add more value to the world. Because we know it's not all just about us, right? I mean, heck, who the hell are we? We're just a couple of Canadian, Asian guys in the part of Canada.
No, that's true. Well, I'm going to add two things to what you said, Tyson, and the accountability is great. So the two things. So first is, I think Warren Buffett said this, there are lessons to be learned from mistakes, but it does not need to be your mistakes. So the best way and the fastest way to get to where you want to go is to learn from other people's mistakes. And by sharing what we are going through and what we're learning, the lessons and the failures and the successes, then you're going to be able to avoid your making the same mistakes again. And if we could save you, one mistake along the way, so you don't have to learn it by yourselves, then it's going to be, you're going to take, half of the time to get there compared to how long it took us. And
it essentially save you thousands, like literally thousands. For me, in my case, tens of thousands, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, and then the second thing I'm going to say about that is, and I'm sure if you're watching this video from us, you have been watching a lot of videos online and a lot of success stories from other people, from ultra successful people. I mean, with YouTube these days, you are one video away from listening to Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger. So why we want to share our stories before we totally get to that point of ultimate success is this. So when you listen to these stories, these people telling you that you need to develop your mindset of abundance, of gratitude and gratefulness, the default answer or the default thought in your mind is, well, these people are already successful, so it's easy for them to say the things that they are saying. It is easy for them to teach lessons because they've already gotten there.
Yeah. However, so many people who I'm watching, like guys like I'm going to name names here, but Eben Pagan, who I absolutely adored for years, but he talks in such a way that it goes like this right over my head. I'm like, whoa, I'm just I'm newer than you are. Not by much, I get it, but I'm newer than you are in terms of internet marketing, in terms of getting online and producing content. And he's like, whoa, talking all this high level stuff. I'm sorry, man. I need somebody who's a little bit more down to earth to be able to connect with. Yeah, exactly it.
Yeah, and so when we share these stories with you, we are probably only a few steps ahead of you, hopefully. So then your mind can go, well, these guys could do it, and these are the things that they are doing that works. I'm only 2 steps or 3 steps behind, so I could actually do this too. So that's the second reason I want to add to the reason why we're doing this.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Exactly it. There's so many people that you follow, I follow, that people who are watching this follow right now, that are like, man, that's great, and that's great. But at the end of the day, they turn off the video, and it's like, shoot, back to my life again. Now what? Connection there. It doesn't make any sense. Cool. So, at this point, then, you want to move on to some of the public goals that we're gonna produce this year. It's January here, 2015. I know we talked about some of the goals that we wanted to make for ourselves. I have 2 goals specifically that I'd like to share. It's one is financial, the other one is physical. And before we get into that, is there anything else we wanted to bring across for our audience?
Yeah, well, you know what, Tyson, before we dive into that details, who should be listening to this? Who is this for? Right.
So we decided that we wanted to produce this channel, the Freedom Evolution Project channel, for people like Win and I, and like you who are watching. Someone who may be in a job situation right now, who thinks, okay, you know what? If I could just get out of this situation and replace my income, I could have more freedom to be able to do the things that I really want to do, get back my passion again. I was working 10, 12 hours a day consistently every single day in my job, and no overtime, and I knew for years, absolutely just for years, that I needed to get out of this, but I needed to find something online or find a freedom opportunity. And I looked at a couple of different things like network marketing, like part-time jobs and stuff, maybe even like stuff in envelopes and stuff like that. And I was like, it didn't really work out. But for those people who are in a job situation and they're looking online to try to find if this is for real, hey, there's so many people out there who are making a real income online. This is absolutely for you if you want to spend the time and the effort. There's so many people who are kind of sucked in, if you will, and I hate to say that because myself all included, I was sucked into the whole guru, the oh my God, all you have to do is click this one button and there you go. There's an instant income in a box. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't happen that way. I know when you've been through the ups and downs too, and you've paid a lot of money for a lot of different programs, and so have I. And it all leans to experience. Don't get me wrong, but if we can help that person who's out there who is either coming out of a job fresh like I was and not knowing where to go, or who is in a job situation right now and wants to see if there's something else out there to move forward with in terms of building up an income, a real income where they can have control of their time, have control of their their mind back in terms of creating things that they want to do, and then being able to have control of just all these little areas where they don't have control of right now because they're saying yes to a boss. Well, this is where this is who this is for. And when you come from a student background as well. I know that a few years ago, you're in school and you bought into the dream, and for whatever reason the dream just didn't, it kind of faded out, and you came into reality realizing, what, you're never going to be rich working for somebody else. You can make somebody else rich, and you can help them become great and financially free and everything else. But you yourself, it's going to be tough to be able to be in that position of moving forward and creating that financial freedom for yourself if if you work for somebody else. So this is one of those things where we Win and I, we both see eye to eye on it. The freedom is really coming from what we do now in terms of building our business and moving forward. And for anybody who's interested, you're welcome to come and take a look. We're going to make these blogs regular, just mostly because it's accountability, right? We keep accountable to each other. We keep accountable to you, the viewer, and whatever you focus on, whatever your energy goes, your focus flows, and that's something that we like to focus on right now. And stay focused, the whole other thing too, right?
Yeah. Well, those are really important messages there, Tyson. So to sum up here, there's two reasons why we're doing this, right? We're doing this for ourselves, first and foremost. Yeah. But also in the meantime, we also want to do this for you as well, and we want to share the lessons for you. And you should listen to this if you're in your job or you're doing something with your career, but you know that there's something else better for you, and you know that the only way to get to ultimate freedom for yourself is to sort of go out and work and find freedom with a business for yourself. So what we're doing here is we're going to share with you what's working right now online, because when you're starting out, there's a lot of options online, right? You're only 2 clicks away from a million ways to make $1 million online.
That's exactly it.
And so it's very easy to feel overwhelmed. I have been consuming and studying and paying for courses for years. So we're saying you don't have to do this. You don't have to pay, for 100 courses before the one course to work out for you. You don't have to feel overwhelmed. We're going to show you what's working today online, what we are doing, and what's working.
You're going to see our failures too. You're going to be able to see, shit, you know what? We just invested, this in this project here, and this time and money. Mm-hmm. We invested this time and money in a project, and it didn't pan out. Well, you're going to be able to see that because we're going to be as transparent as we can be with stuff like that. Because then we learn, and you learn, and we just keep moving forward and help you avoid some of those pitfalls. Now, I'm crossing my fingers hoping we don't make too many mistakes along the way, because I can't afford to make too many mistakes. That's the situation we're in. I was laid off last year, and I've been searching ever since for, was it like 10 months now? And I made a little bit of money here and there, and we'll talk about how I make some of that money, and hopefully that'll help you out in getting your start. But yeah. That's the tough thing, is that there's a million different ways to make money out there. I think every single one of them can work. Yeah. But which one will work for you?
Right. So the other thing too is this is an entirely new area for you and for us too when we left our jobs, because in your job there's a very clearly defined roles, and if you want to get better at Outlook and Word documents, there's training, there's conferences for you to go to. But when you want to go online and start your own thing, well, you can start a million different businesses. So we're going to show you exactly what are the top skills that you need to have today to make it work regardless of what you want to do online, right? So you could do a million different things online, but here are the fundamentals that you have to get right in order for your first entrepreneurial venture to work out, at least in your favor, or at least you have the best chances of making it work. So that's why we're going to share these videos with you.
Cool. I think we should do this on a part 2 video, because you and I both shared a lot about our story, and I don't even know if people are going to come on and watch this. They might just skip straight to the part 2, right? Show me how it's done. But at least they have the opportunity to see this and kind of get to know us and know that we're just real people. Nothing staged here or anything like that. If you want to check out, I got an article in the news. I was fired from my job and all this other stuff, and it just kind of sucks. Hey, it is what it is. Yeah. So why don't we sign out for now and get on to part 2? Cool.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for checking out the video. See you in the next one.